Hello all and welcome back to a Darkseed Deep Dive follow-up episode. It's not entirely a dedicated deep dive like the main video, but it also isn't a Q&A session since no one really asked about this topic. That said, I wanted to tackle some of the things I read during the Darkseed 2 guide read videos, mainly all the sections that mention the invasion of the Dark World into the normal world. For those that are unfamiliar with my deep dive, well, I suggest you watch that first. But if you don't have an extra 40 to 50 minutes, I'll sum up my main point. I believe that the Dark World from Darkseed is all in Mike's head, and I believe that is the case for both games. Now, if you want to know my main talking points, then I definitely recommend checking out my deep dive video on that very topic. The link is in the description. So there are numerous callouts within the strategy guide where Leanne Morris, the author, stated that some of the level design shows a clear indication of the Dark World slowly creeping into the normal world. I think that all these things that were mentioned are mostly coincidental or easily explained. Here's a rundown of all the callouts within the guide. Let's start with Rita's house. Here's the text from the guide. So, Dark World influence? Maybe. But only if someone at the mayor's office is looking to scapegoat crime statistics. Even though the game is presented by an unreliable narrator, I'm going to use some quotes from the game to build my argument. Let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture based off the information that the game provides. Crowley, Texas seems to be like any other town in America. The suburb that Mike's mom lives in is nice and quaint, but the city portions seem to be wrought with crime. I mean, there are bullet holes in the for sale sign by Rita's house for crying out loud. The pool hall is where the local wise guy likes to hang out, and there's one shack, of possibly many, that is home to Slim, a local homeless guy. Now, not all homeless people are criminals, I'd never say anything like that. However, desperate times can drive people to do desperate things, including turning to crime to make ends meet. Let's be real, the Dark World isn't causing an uptick in crime. It's a piss-poor economy run by a corrupt mayor.
It's depressing to think about how few things cost a quarter anymore.
Even Rita, the town librarian, had to work multiple jobs to pay the bills. Well, I'm going to assume she got paid for helping Doc Larson and Mayor Fleming for her services. Instead of dealing with this rise in poverty, the mayor drove the homeless to makeshift shacks that were out of the public view.
The mayor campaigned on how he was going to rid our streets of the homeless, but I guess they just got driven into sheds like this. Another evil that's been hidden but still exists.
Instead of dealing with poverty, he's only worried about getting reelected. Same can be said with solving the murder case that revolves around Mike. And of course, he's also more concerned with taking dirty photos with the town librarian. So, corrupt politician, not the Dark World. Next is the Carnival. The Carnival does have some bizarre decorations, but that's all they are, decorations. Mike even mentions that this is the most bizarre carnival he's ever seen. The Dark World version of Gargan is seen on the Calliope near the merry-go-round. The behemoth in shrimp form is all over the place, and the Keeper of the Scrolls is shown behind Gargan. Mike saw those images and crafted his Dark World version of the carnival. Gargan became the big baby because of the way he acts, the behemoth looks like this weird shrimp fetus thing, and the Keeper is just the face on the wall. I mean, heck, even the teddy bears morph into those shrimp designs. Mike just saw these images and created the scenario that they would be a part of. Again, as I mentioned in my deep dive, Mike is creating the Dark World environment himself. The images from the carnival may be triggering something within him, or it's another case of the unreliable narrator. I'll go with the former in this case, though. The carnival's imagery is really affecting Mikey Boy, so much so that the carnival becomes the main portal to the Dark World in Darkseed 2. So again, nothing to do with the Dark World, just an imaginary world created by a man that needs a little help. The last mention of the Dark World invading the normal world is about the flowers outside of Mike's mom's house. Now here's where things get interesting, and this is actually the major crux of my theory. That is, my theory of the Dark World not actually being real. The plants aren't dying because of the Dark World. They're dying because Mike hid the heads of everyone he murdered there. Mind you, it's probably just Rita's head if the timeline of the game is to be believed. Everything seems to happen in one day, so I don't know that Mike would have had time to bury all the heads, even while he's in quote-unquote the Dark World. Regardless, I believe that one head is at least buried there, and that's what's causing the flowers to die, not the Dark World. And that's all I could find in the guide. I honestly thought there were more references, but I guess there weren't. In any case, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I have a goal for next year to create a compendium for these deep dive videos. That is, a video containing the deep dive, all the Q&A videos, and some new details that I forgot about in the original video, which I may or may not have covered in the various guide reads. So give me some time, but expect it sometime next year. That said, as always, thank you for watching. Hey y'all, I have some big news. The latest Tales of Hyperia: The Crimson Knight demo has been officially released. Relive the magic of classic gaming with this new retro-inspired JRPG demo designed for the Game Boy. Immerse yourself in unique pixel art, an epic quest, and turn-based battles that harken back to the golden age of RPGs. Check out the link in the description to play the demo.